let's take a quick look at our consumption. In 2008, Naperville as a community used 1.5 billion kilowatt hours of electricity. During non-summer months, we use about 750 kilowatt hours a month. And in summer months, we use on average about 1,000 kilowatt hours per month. The City of Naperville invested in a greenhouse gas emissions inventory in 2008. This study follows a protocol and measures how much we are putting into the atmosphere and from which sources. An engineering firm was hired and examined the energy records of the municipality, households, and industry. This pie chart represents greenhouse gas emissions from residential, commercial, and industrial sources. The City of Naperville, which is not represented on this pie chart, only contributes 1.4% of the total. So there is only so much the city can do to reduce energy consumption in our community. The study also told us that we each emit 15.9 tons of CO2 emissions per year. That's per person or per resident. Cities have lower per person CO2 emissions. For example, New York City has 7.1 tons per person, and London emitted 6.18 tons per capita in 2004. So here is the answer to the pop quiz. Electricity accounts for the most greenhouse gas emissions. The next highest is due to vehicles and then natural gas. So generally speaking, 68 to 72% of our community emissions are coming from the energy we use inside our buildings. You may be thinking, it's probably all being used in industry, right? Let's take a closer look on the next slide. How much do households contribute to energy use in the U.S.? 38%, which is more than industry. And if you consider Naperville, we have very little industry here. Households are an important part of the equation, and there will not be a cap-and-trade system for households. So let's take a closer look at how we use energy in our homes. I have good news for you. We found an excellent study that lists actions by their effectiveness. Efficiency improving actions save more money and reduce greenhouse gas emissions more than reducing the use of inefficient equipment. So thinking efficiency may be a lot easier for people than making lifestyle changes. Some people are resistant to change, but most are just creatures of habit. So the good news is, you may not need to make any changes to your normal daily routine. Like I said earlier, I'm not here to criticize or judge you. I don't even expect you to change that much. But you will initially need to take a step back and invest a little time and a little bit of money in order to prevent any disruptions to your routine. As a disclaimer, I have to tell you all homes are different and use energy in different ways. Our top recommendations are based on generalizations made about the average home and how the average person uses energy at home. So in order to get the best information about energy use within your unique home, the best thing to do is hire a professional and have a home energy audit done. These run on average $300 in our area for diagnostic testing. If you are over 55 and have a home built before 1980, you can get one for free from the City of Naperville. During a home energy audit, the rater will inspect your home's insulation and will look for and isolate air leaks and drafts, and will review your major appliances. And even though they are available, it is my experience the online audit recommendations don't effectively address home envelope issues. But you can still try them. There's one available on the City of Naperville website, and there's also the Energy Star Home Energy Yardstick available at energystar.gov. The main way in which we use energy at home is to heat or cool the air inside our home. How effectively our homes do this is dependent on two things: the way our home is constructed, or our home's envelope, and the efficiency levels of our major appliances. The most effective approach in making your home more energy efficient and to reduce your personal energy consumption is to focus on the following in this order. First of all, we need to think about how our home wastes energy. Our home wastes energy passively by having air leaks or drafts and by having poor insulation issues. Then, we need to think about how our home, not necessarily how the people in the home, but how our home's major appliances and lighting systems use energy. Air infiltration can account for 30% or more of a home's heating and cooling costs and contribute to problems with moisture, noise, dust, and the entry of pollutants, insects, and rodents. Caulking and weather stripping alone can save up to 2.5% of energy costs. The most common areas of air leaks are the fireplace damper, attic access doors, can lights, and windows. If you have leaky windows, you probably don't need new windows. You most likely just need to seal them. Another basic way to identify specific points of air infiltration would take two people. Turn on all of your home's exhaust fans, close all your doors and windows to artificially create a negative pressure, and walk around the outside of the house, especially around doors and windows and at the foundation, with a stick of incense. The smoke from the incense will be sucked into the house at air infiltration points. Take a look at these images. The dark areas indicate colder air, and the lighter areas indicate warmer air. These images were captured during a door blower test, and the cooler outside air is being sucked into the home via these air infiltration points. Most homes discover, during a home energy audit or door blower test, the cumulative air infiltration, by adding up all the little cracks, equates to a standard size window being open year-round. So how do we fix the windows? First, it is important to understand the air is not coming from the window. It's coming from a gap that is commonly found in between the window frame and the drywall. This gap is hiding under the wood trim that decoratively surrounds the windows on the inside of the house. The next slide will explain in detail how to get to the gap and fill it in. But first, you should know that the local hardware store carries a product called an attic tent. It is installed in the attic where the access door is. I recently had an installation company install one in my house because there's only so much I'm willing to do on my own. Now, when I pull down my spring-loaded access door and fold out the ladder, I just have to climb up and unzip this tent, which forms a seal and barrier to heat loss. It's pretty cool. Okay, back to how to seal the windows for good.